Hey, welcome to another episode of The Jewish Heart. My name is Obi. I'm trying to get the last couple minutes of daylight here in Jerusalem in. The days are ending really early here. They end at like 4:30 now. So I'm trying to get a couple videos in now. I want to talk today about this idea of how stuff that helped me to see God in every little thing in my life. How to look at Emuna and faith in a new kind of way that made it like personal to all the details in my life and not just an overall thing. I always had an easy time accepting the fact that there was a God, that somebody created this incredible world that we live in, but this is kind of some advice that really helped me see how he's like active in like every little detail in my life. So one of the things is that nowadays stuff is super mass produced, right? There's millions, literally anything you buy, there's like a million other ones in other places. And so when you buy something, realize that particular object that you got was a gift from HaShem, was a gift from God. That particular object that you got was specifically organized that you're going to get that one. For example, let's say this sweater that I have right now, right? I bought it in a store and there was a rack of like 20 of them. And I got this particular one, so yeah, I chose it because I like the texture of it, and it's warm, and I like the design, and it goes well, and it looks nice. But there were also 20 other of the exact same ones. But for some reason, I got this particular one. I don't know, and the zipper like sticks a little bit. So for some reason, I was supposed to get this sweater with the zipper sticks a little bit because it's perfectly from HaShem that He organized that. And also like this shirt, right? There were like 30 other behind in the rack in the mall. There were so many other, but for some reason I got this one, and for all you know, let's say maybe the shirt behind it, like 3 of the buttons would have fallen off. They weren't sewn on right. The machine wasn't functioning, and they would have fallen off. And HaShem, God didn't want you to have to deal with all your buttons falling off, so He made sure that you pick up this shirt, and then the next person that's coming in is going to pick up the shirt and going to have to deal with all those buttons falling off. So this is something that like kind of changed my way of thinking, to really bring God into like all the personal details. Or for like another example, let's take, you're looking for a car. So you do all your research, which one has the best, this one has the highest safety rating, and I don't know, you decide on a Toyota Camry. And you bought it and you get it because it makes perfect sense because you and your spouse, and then you have 3 kids, and it fit perfectly, and it's a nice family vehicle, and it has plenty of room in the trunk. And the new versions have an all-wheel drive, and you live in a really snowy area, so it's really good to have that, so you don't slip around. And you got it the color, I don't know, you got the color silver because it's it's your favorite. You like that color, and of course, no, you chose this car. You did all the research. It meets all your standards, but why'd you get that one? There was like a whole lot of Toyota Camrys, and they were all silver. You could have gotten one out of any 1,000, and you got this particular one, and maybe the one right next to it in the lot had really bad transmission problems, and you would have been in and out and spend half the year in and out of the mechanic shop, like the way that it goes. And HaShem made sure that you get this one that's running smoothly. Or it may be the opposite. Like for my first car, I bought a Hyundai Accent, a nice little like sporty hatchback, black, and I thought like I picked it because it was a good price and it fit all my needs and everything. But it ended up having like really bad transmission problems, and I had to fix it pretty soon after I bought it. And I had to put a ton of money into it, and I had spent all my savings on this car, and I didn't have, so I had to borrow the money to fix the transmission and all that stuff. And then because I borrowed a lot of money, I wanted to pay it back quickly, so I went out. I had a good job, but I went out I got a better job, so I could just pay it off really quickly. And that job ended up why I'm sitting here right now in Jerusalem, in this park, in this chair, talking in front of a camera. It was all part of a crazy series of events. The transmission went, I went to get this job, I stayed with this job, I was working with a lot of Israelis, so I learned Hebrew. Now I live in Israel, so the fact that I speak Hebrew is awesome. But I learned it over there in America because of my transmission. Another thing that happened is I started keeping Shabbat and kosher because of the place I was working. I was with other people who were doing that, and so I got back into like being more religious and stuff, all because my transmission went in this car. And then in the end, I was making really good money, so I was able to save up and buy my ticket here, and that's the money that I'm living off of now. Until recently I was living off of paying all my rent, all my bills off of the money I made in this job, all because my transmission went in this car. And so I was in the store, right, or in the lot, whatever, right, and I thought that I was buying this car because it met this, and these are the features that I wanted, and it fit all this, and it was in my budget. And really, God was like, no, you're getting this car specifically because it is a transmission that's about to go. And that's why I got that particular one. I could have picked like any of the other ones on the lot and taken the keys and driven that one off, but God wanted me to drive this particular one off to so that this whole series of events would happen, so that I'm sitting here now living the kind of life that I do. So just like a nice, really good perspective to start looking for these little things. Realize that like every little thing that you have, there's a reason why you have that particular one. Something to think about.